In the previous episode, I always want to say that I talked about the first of the three stages that I use. I talked about the ready stage. In this video, I'm going to talk about the set stage. I'm going to put out my standard disclaimer. This is me. I don't tell people how to shoot. I don't tell people what they should do. I think if a person can hit the ball in the direction they want, at the speed they want, and do it consistently, more power to them. I don't really care how they get there. Anyway, so when I ended the last video, it was at the end of the ready stage and beginning of the set stage. The set stage is one of the most complicated. It may even be the most complicated. It's also the one that, for me, changes the most, depending on my style of the week, whatever. But there are certain things that I try to do all of the time. So at this point, I'm done with the ready stage. I've gotten my alignment. I got the ball of my foot planted. When I transition into the set stage is when I'm aligning my tip. I talked about this briefly in the last thing. But I see the shot line, and my eye and my ball of my foot and this hand are on that shot line. But the tip could be over here. It could be over here. It could be wherever. I want to get it on the shot line, do it along with everything else. So I do that with my left hand. I was actually about 3 inches too far forward on that shot. And as I come down, now I'm on it. I'm on it. So coming down into the actual stance, it varies quite a bit for me. And all I can really do is just kind of describe what I'm doing right now, which could change tomorrow. Hell, it could change in an hour. This is one of the stages that I'm really working on, and it does vary a lot. The different people that I kind of emulate and mess around with trying to copy, they have wildly different stances and things like that. Anything from Alex is way the hell down here and back on the shot, to Piggy Banks is more forward and solid and up a little bit. It really varies. What I am doing right now, I keep moving my right foot and getting out of alignment. And once I get into my alignment, including the tip, I basically am just bending over and trying to maintain a little bit of distance. Now, I played for a long time with my chin almost on my cue. So anytime it's not touching my cue now, it feels like it's a foot up in the air. But I've watched videos, and it's not the case. It's still pretty darn close. It's just not all the way down here. It's just not all the way down here. So I just basically bend over. I'm staying in the shot line, getting my tip in the shot line, and to come over. This foot, I don't really know what my left foot is doing. Probably at some point I will know what it's doing. But for now, it's just moving forward. I'm also locking my right knee. For a long time, I was a croucher. I would crouch into my stance. It's only been fairly recently that I've started locking my right leg, because I feel like it helps me to bend forward more, to be closer to the action a little bit more. It's what I feel like for me. And so that's what I do. I lock my right leg to make sure that I'm bending along the shot line still, instead of crouching. Your malice my very. See, I keep moving my right foot. So let's just start all over again. So that's not a big deal. I know what I'm supposed to be doing, so I just do it. Look at the cue ball, my right eye. Get my right eye in alignment. Get my right foot in alignment. Get my tip in alignment as I bend over. And now I'm here, and I'm in the stance. This stage, however, does not end until I'm ready to pull the trigger. So there's all kinds of stuff that could be happening at this point. Practice strokes, little the feathering motions like the snooker guys use. Hell, I know one guy, he's a good shooter, which is a shame. But he will take about 8 practice strokes on every shot. And it's like this. Most people I know have sworn off ever playing this guy because they don't have the lifespan to get through a game of watching him do that. And I'm always afraid he's going to saw his thumb off by doing all those practice strokes. But more power to him. He's a good shooter. For some reason, he's decided that 115 practice strokes is the correct number for him. Whatever. I'm not going to tell people how to shoot. I'm just not going to play them when they do shit like that. Some people do practice strokes like with a real downward motion. Some people will do practice strokes. Hell, Truman Hogue, his practice strokes are always up here at 12 o'clock. He's doing his practice strokes at 12 o'clock, and then on his final stroke, he'll come down with whatever the real English is. But he used the practice strokes. I use them to just make sure my arm is still working, had it locked up or whatever. That's kind of it. There's some aiming, fine-tuning that is happening here. Now I'm in alignment, I'm on the shot line, but my subconscious, my inner pool player, he may want to do something just a little bit extra, some little micro adjustments that might have to happen. And that's what I use these practice strokes for, is to make damn sure that I'm hitting this cue ball where I need to hit it to get the 15 to go in the pocket. Not necessarily hitting this cue ball on this shot line that I figured out. I'm very close to where I want to be. But once I get down here, it's entirely possible that I want to do something different. So for my practice stroke stuff, this stuff does change, but this is what's going on right now. This is what I do right now. So, get on a shot, right eye, look at the cue ball, get my right foot in alignment, get this in alignment, is I'll come down and I'll pause. And then I'll usually take just a couple little practice strokes, pause again, come back, pause, and you shoot. That's what I do. Now the last pause and the shoot, that's another stage. I shouldn't have even done that. So ignore that. Find the shot, the right eye, foot. Okay, now I'm in the set stage. And at this point, I'm done. I'm done with the set stage. Whenever I feel like I've done enough practice strokes and whatever little micro adjustments needed to happen have happened, then I'm done. I'm done with that stage. And I'm ready to pull the trigger. The couple things that may just be me, okay? I don't have all the concentration in the world. My concentration is pretty bad sometimes. I'm really bad about loud music. I'm really bad about pretty girls. I just am. One of the things that I have found, and I forgot to put my belt on, is that there are times when me getting on this shot, well, that's just too long. I can't concentrate for that much time. So I might just have to just do one practice stroke. And hope I can concentrate for one whole entire practice stroke. Sometimes I can't even do that. I've mentioned in the previous video, looking at the cue ball helps me to get focused. It helps to quiet my mind, I guess, a little bit. And so usually I can do that. I can concentrate for this long. Now, I'm not going to stop at this point and whatever, say my ABCs backwards or whatever. Once I'm at this point, there's nothing else for me to do in the set stage. It's time for me to shoot. And that's the final stage, is what I call the go stage. It's to just shoot the damn ball in the hole. Now you've done all this prep work You're ready to shoot, so shoot. Don't dick around, especially don't let your concentration waver. I have a problem also with looking away. If I loiter too long, then my eyes kind of go out of focus, or they look up at something else, pretty girl again, they'll do something that's not what it's supposed to be doing. What it's supposed to be doing at this point. Remember when I said, I forgot to mention this, when I said, I'm looking at cue ball, cue ball, cue ball, cue ball, cue ball. The other shit's just in my peripheral vision. Still the cue ball, still the cue ball, still the cue ball. Object ball. I'm looking at the object ball right now. I've gotten all my alignment for where I want to hit the cue ball, in theory. When I get to the point where I'm talking about maybe there's going to be some little micro adjustments that happen, I'm looking at that object ball right now. And I'm going to look at this object ball for the rest of the entire time. The whole next phase, which is the go phase, is just looking at the object ball. There are going to be a lot of people who are going to be different about that. I've switched back and forth at times. If I'm jacked up over a ball, then I'm probably going to look at the cue ball last, because it's hard to hit when you're jacked up over a ball like that. But for the most part, for regular shots, once I get down there, get all of my alignment, object ball. I'm looking at that. And then I'm going, oh, I missed a shot. Shit, got the whole video away now. Now I'm not going to do that. What I am going to do is think about what I want to put in the next video, which is going to be the go phase, where you actually get to shoot the ball. Later.